When it comes to immersing people in this world, can you talk a little about new aspects and elements of the gameplay, for instance, politics?
Well, yeah, we've got lots of new things in the game. I mean, on the campaign map, we really wanted to get that sense of intrigue in, that idea of political maneuvering and worrying about, this is my general, but he's from another family and he might got a bit too big for his boots. If he wins another victory, maybe he's gonna like Julius Caesar march on Rome and decide that he should be the emperor. On the battlefield, another big new feature to mention is the combination of naval battles and land forces in the same battlefield. So you can disembark from your ships and fight on land. You can attack ports with your navies, and you get that whole mixture of land and sea forces. It's really a breathtaking spectacle.
How big a part of real warfare was that type of naval land combat when you guys were doing research?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time naval support was very important logistically, right? So it's very important for armies to get supplies, and navies were important there. Also, we're trying to break down the boundary between armies and navies, because if an army wanted to cross the sea, it would generally go and build some transports and just get on the sea and go where it wants to go. And so we've got that in the game now. So we've streamlined certain things. But yeah, navies were very, very important. I mean, the Empire of Carthage was at the time the dominant power in the Mediterranean Sea. And it was its navy that gave it that power, because the navy allows it to project its forces across the Mediterranean very, very quickly. And so it's really, really important. Most of the cities in the ancient world the big cities, important cities, were ports or very near ports. So being able to project naval power is vitally important strategically.
Can you talk a little about the game's Encyclopedia and how that opens up even more historical aspects to the gameplay?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a big encyclopedia that allows you to kind of, browse how the game features work and some of the content, but also gives you a bit more background into the, into some of the history behind some of the different areas of content in the game. And the idea is that you browse that at your leisure if you want to go in a bit deeper. So yeah, there's a lot of richness in the game. It's really exciting.
How will knowledge of real history and the way combat was actually fought help for a player that's jumping into this game experience?
Well, I think knowing a bit about real historical kind of tactics is always going to help you be very, very effective at the game. But the point is that these real world tactics should be really intuitive. Every player can understand. Okay, I'm going to move my forces there. I'm going to charge downhill. The horses are more effective if they're charging into the back of enemy troops, and if you're surrounding enemy troops. So all of these tactics that work in the real world, what's important is that because they work in the real world, they're intuitive, right? Any player can kind of understand them. So our goal is to make the game as easy as possible to pick up and play and understand how to control units. Even though to be an expert, to be the greatest general of them all, that requires you to learn.